All right, I'm back to talk about healing crises. Dun dun dun. What are they? So, feedback. We start working with a client, go on a fully raw fruit-based diet and herbs, especially with the herbs. And after a week, they tell me, "Oh my God, I feel worse than I felt in years. You know those pains that coming back. It's the food, it's the herbs. I need to stop." That is a healing crisis. Your body, if you are retaining all this acidity into your body copes. Otherwise, we would be in pain the whole time. And some people are in darn pain, and that's when you know that there's you are so stuck that your body's shouting at you we can't even temper the symptoms, it's that bad. But most people are not in pain all the time. They might have these inflammation, acute inflammations, and then flare-ups, and then it gets better, and then it comes back, and then it gets better. But when you're doing a cleanse, a detox especially, those things can come back, and they can be quite violent. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, you can get some severe symptoms. You can get, if you suffered from eczema at some point, the eczema could come back out on your skin. The solution here is to endure, because after a week, 2 weeks, that crap is going, and is going for good if you keep on cleansing your body. Okay, and when I say for good, it means for good as long as you look after your body, because if you go back to eating crap, then no, you're not going to let it go. It's just gonna stay with you and come back. So it's gonna go away as long as you look after your body and you keep the channels clean. Your blood is your kitchen. It brings the food to your cells. Your lymphatic system is the bathroom. It takes the crap out of your cells. So, you want to keep those channels open, because the moment that your blood becomes acidic and you bring crap in it, then you're going to get the same symptoms. You're going to damage your gut. You're going to start having issues. You're going to start having eczema, everything. So I think that's really important to understand. I think it really allows you to then, again, take responsibility, which we talked about a second ago. And it allows you to find a kind of peace of mind, because when we feel unwell, the last thing we want to do is just feel unwell, right? We just oh my God. And I am someone with the highest pain tolerance ever. Honestly, sometimes it's fucking scary. I tolerate pain. And today I'm just dropping the F-bombs. I'm sorry. It's scary, but it's, I do it. I can just endure pain. I don't like it, but I can endure it. So when I go through a healing crisis, I'm it's gonna be okay. I endure. But I can tell you something, every healing crisis I went through, whatever it was, the symptom went away and never came back. Well, of course I look after myself, but it never came back. It's not something chronic anymore. So it's something to think about, including, I went for my breast check, for example, which I do every year. And when the scan was going through, I could see that I have way less cysts in my breast than I used to have. I have a pretty solid one on my right one, but the rest are quite fluid. But even then, they're going. They're slowly becoming smaller and smaller. Now, I know I should do more herbs, and I'm waiting for my herbs. I ordered them in the US, but they arrived late, so Carl couldn't bring them back, so I'm waiting for friends to come home from the US, from the US, so they can bring them to me. And I can get them in Europe as well, but I bought them there, so I'm just waiting. I might just have to get them here as well. But I want to cleanse my body. And so what do I do? Of course, sometimes I have concessions. I'm eating soy, yogurt, I'm eating tofu, I'm eating some good food sweet potatoes. On Sunday, I had a cooked meal. I don't feel great when I cook food, I'll be honest. It's really annoying. I love salads, and I thrive on them, but sometimes it's just cold and you want something warm, and also just to balance things out. But when I cleanse, I'm cleansing, and so it's all raw, and I feel amazing, and I can see the difference. I can feel the difference. Either way, though, I can already see the difference between before and now. When I go through a healing crisis and I stick to it, then after that I feel awesome, and it's oh, things are better. I can notice that that improvement. So I think it's really important to understand those things. The healing crisis will come. You might feel really crappy for 1 or 2 weeks, sometimes a little longer, but if you stick to it, if you stay on course, if you keep on doing your cleanse, it will get better. It will get better. And this is a really good news, because sometimes we get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. So have your support system around you when you're going through a healing crisis, someone that can comfort you, to tell you, hey, you know what, it's fine, you'll get better, you'll go through this. And also that actually makes you feel like this is normal, because a lot of people have this like, oh, you don't feel well, then oh my god, you have to change something, like take a pill first of all, and then you go to your doctor. That's what they tell you. They have no idea about healing crisis, because they're so used to giving medication to stop symptoms instead of healing the system. So it's really annoying. When it comes to these chronic conditions, allopathic medicine has it so wrong, it's not even funny. Now, there are some times that the pain can be too much for someone, and sure, you want to then really help with some medication. I get it. If you can't function because of pain, okay, I get it. If there's a reason why you have to function, like if you can't stay in bed and get better. But most of the times, like, people get the flu, right? They should stay home. Number one, if you have the flu, you have a virus, stay home, because you are not kindly sharing it with everybody who doesn't want it. So stay home, and then your body's making you tired and sore. You know why? Because your immune system needs to work. So the body's like, okay, we are going to make you feel like crap so that you can stay in bed and sleep. Man, how many times, even at work, when I was especially in banking, people showed up at work, I have the flu. Why are you here? On top of it, why are you here giving us your germs? Like, stay home. So it was insane, but they had the pressure from the company. You had to be there, because God forbid you take time off, right? And it's like, no, man, this person needs to stay home. I think things are a little bit better because people can work remotely, but even though, if you are sick, you should rest, not work from home. So that guilt has to go away. But that's one case, but that's one scenario. But everything, like, rest when your body's telling you need to rest, please. If you're tired, if you're sore, if you're feeling unwell, give yourself what you need, which is rest, hydration, and then even fasting. And that's the other thing that takes me to this healing crisis. While we go through a healing crisis, we might not want to eat, but people are like, I'm not hungry, but I'm just gonna force myself to eat because I need the calories. You will not die if you don't eat while you are recovering. Now, when I had COVID, right? I had COVID for the intense for 1 week, in the sense that I was in pain, my back was killing me, I had no energy, but with no energy I was in pain, and I was feeling fluey, but it was different from the flu, it was more intense. And I had a very big cough for about 5 days, but in those 5 days, 3 days were really bad. In 5 days though, I recovered. I made my own antibiotics because I had a throat infection, with garlic and oil of oregano. I bought these veggie capsules, and I every morning I would fill them up with oregano, oil of oregano, and garlic, and then take 5 or 6, and then at night again. 3 days, the infection went away, my cough went away after 5 days. Then I started feeling really, really well, and I started feeling well for a day. Then I did a class, I remember, on a Saturday, and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon I was really tired. And the 2 weeks after, it wasn't about symptoms, like my back pain was still a little bit there, which means I still was fighting the infection, but I was mostly the fatigue. And so what did I do? Well, I'm like, okay, I still had to function because I have a farm, and you can't not clean the place, it's impossible. So in the morning I had energy, so I was cleaning everything, and then by 12 o'clock I had to go to bed. And I just spent 2 weeks in bed in the afternoon and night, and I used to watch documentaries and just really sleep and relax. And after 2 weeks I started feeling much better. So this thing with COVID lasted 3 weeks, but I wasn't hungry, and so I didn't eat. I just thought, okay, if I had a little bit of a hunger because my stomach would hurt, I would have a smoothie. So I kept it really raw. I had green smoothies, the recipe from actually Eat Move Rest, my friend Erin and Dusty, and I just had that, and then I just didn't eat. And of course I lost weight, and I looked really skinny, but I also felt much better than forcing myself to eat and giving the digestive system more work when the immune system was trying to actually heal me. I thought, you know what, I'm going to listen to my body. If I'm not hungry, I'm not gonna eat. When animals are sick, they don't want to eat. They fast. We worry because we're like, oh my god, we need calories. But I mean, it takes a while for your body to have no calories left and start eating itself. So don't worry. Most of us have enough calories banked everywhere on this physique, and we're fine. So allow your body to just tell you what it needs and listen. Now, of course, if you go 2-3 weeks without eating, that's a problem. So yes, then we need to talk to somebody, right? But generally speaking, this lasts a week maximum, where you feel like poopy and then you're not hungry. And then, you know, you also can notice maybe you start eating, you eat less, but you eat a little bit here, a little bit there. You start craving things, which is a good sign that you're recovering, and you go with it. So listen to your body. You know best, okay? So nobody can tell you you need to have those calories to feel better. I mean, Kyle used to do that. It would drive me crazy. I had a food poisoning in Jamaica from mussels. That was the last time I ate mussels ever. And then the year after, I actually went vegan, which I'm so happy. I haven't been sick like that ever since. But I had, I was really sick with mussel poisoning, basically, because, you know, that's just really disgusting. So I just didn't want to touch anything. I had to drink and hydrate because everything came out of every hole. I was sweating, I was pooping, I was vomiting, everything. It's just like, so I was dehydrating. So I had to take some salt minerals and water, because otherwise, yeah, it would have been a bad thing. And I had to get on a plane because that was the day we were leaving Jamaica to come back to the UK. And I mean, BA were amazing. Shout out to BA. They upgraded me so that I could be more comfortable, because they saw I was dying. I was basically in a wheelchair. I couldn't even walk, right? So from Jamaica all the way to London in a wheelchair. So people were looking at me like, what's up with her? I was dying. But anyway, BA were fantastic. And, you know, of course I lost weight and I was, you know, feeling like crap, but I didn't want to eat. And he was trying to force me to have food, and I'm like, you don't understand. I don't want to eat. My body's telling me not to eat. It's okay that I look a little bit gaunt, but I will pick up. Once I feel better and I can eat, I will pick up. And I did. Of course I did. So your body's telling you, and it's okay if we look a little bit weaker during that time. We're not eating, we are recovering, we're feeling sore, tired, we're fighting an infection if it's a virus or whatever. It's normal. So give yourself the chance to go through the healing crisis, or through the healing crisis. Everything is a healing crisis when you feel unwell, right? So go through it, and then you'll feel better, and then you'll feel even better, because that which your body fought is now ready for. So you have your immune system primed towards fighting certain things. If you stop in the tracks, the healing, your immune system doesn't even have the time to deal with it. You know, like if you have fever, you take paracetamol to bring down the fever. The fever is actually a way for the body to fight infection. It's not a bad thing. It's not the virus giving you the fever. It's your immune system giving you a higher temperature, so you can kill the virus and the bacteria in your body that are not in balance with your body, so the bad ones. Then you have the support, so you can take echinacea, you can take elderberry, you can take quercetin in the form of food, even like apples, organic apples. The skin is full of quercetin. Go ahead, onions have quercetin. Sure, they're not delicious if you have them raw, but you know, garlic, and just have that. Vitamin C, have oranges. If you want to take supplements, I get it, but sometimes it's actually better not to. It's better to take it in food form, but sometimes if you have to, sure. I mean, I know that it doesn't gel well with the cleanse, especially with like Dr. Moore's. Dr. Moore's is not a nootropic kind of naturopath, and I am kind of on the fence. I think if you test and there are deficiencies, it's better to tackle those deficiencies. But also, while you do that, also understand what your digestive system is doing, because if you're not digesting the food properly, you're not absorbing the nutrients, then you can take the supplements until the cows come home. So, you know, trying to be a little bit mindful about that. But in any case, going back to the healing crisis, allow your body to go through it so that you can heal for real. And that's the message. So, again, you can work actually not, you should work with somebody while you're doing a cleanse, because when you go through it, it's really important to have that cheerleader that can guide you through it, because it can be really scary, because the symptoms can be quite bad. Say if you suffer from migraines, your migraines can get worse, and on people that have migraines, then nobody feels like to basically be disabilitated, right? You cannot move, you can't look at the light, you can't move, you can't do anything. So it's quite something. So if it gets worse, I can imagine being scary. So work with someone that can literally hold your hand while you go through it, and then know that this is hopefully the very last time you'll have it that bad or at all, and so it's worth it. And allow the healing crisis to happen. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.